a lot of people who are just kind of like, oh, whatever, live and let
It
live.
is
Like,
kind of black and white on that side of the country.
yeah, people have either very strong feelings one way, or people
Mhm.
have very. I mean, that's like that in my house. Like, my husband has very
Oh,
strong
that's right.
feelings.
I think you and your husband have
We
like
have very different views.
I'll be right back, you guys. I have to go do a quick hit, but let's continue our conversation and hopefully more people can join. I think this is really so
Oh,
relevant today. So let's talk about it. I'll be right back.
okay.
Hey, Justine.
Hi, Jimmy. Haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, I was in New York for a little bit, and then Virginia. My well, I'm sure if you knew or not, but my dad was sick.
How
Um,
is he?
he's getting better, but he's not out of the woods yet. He's in rehabilitation now. I'm not sure if you knew Stacy, but he suffered a really bad fall and hit his head pretty badly and was bleeding. Um, on his brain and out of his ear and stuff. And while in recovery, he had a heart attack. And yeah, so when I found that out, that's when I flew to New York immediately to go be by his side and take care of him, maybe be around him. And then that ran into my daughter's graduation in Virginia, so I had to take a train from New York to Virginia and then fly from Virginia here. And it's just been a long trip. It's been a long trip, and I got back last Monday. But after that, when I got back here, work had piled up, and working.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing.
So you've been travelling around half the country then?
Well, I wish it had been more pleasurable, but yeah, a little bit of traveling, yeah.
Yeah.
But I definitely, when I head over to England, I will definitely let you know.
Yes, it's been a strange one here for sort of weather-wise for the last week or so. We've had a bits of sun, then it's just grey and wet, and we
Yeah,
had thick fog for a couple of days.
but isn't gray, wet, and foggy like a typical England thing? I mean,
It's pretty much it's yeah, it's
yeah.
typical Britain, grey, wet, and foggy.
But actually, when I went there, it was September. It was September of '07, and I went there, and the weather was absolutely beautiful the entire 7 days I was there. And then we went down to Paris, and Paris was a nightmare. It rained the entire time.
I think you got lucky on that one.
That's what I hear, but I guess it was meant to be, huh?
I've been quite lucky actually. Most times I went away, I went to Barcelona and went to Paris,
Hmm.
went to Rome, uh, went to New York, and
Okay.
on every single occasion it was really glorious sunshine.
Very cool. Very
Lucky.
cool. So how are you doing, Justin? How are you
Yeah,
feeling?
not too bad.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
faring better.
Just so 50-50.
Yeah,
We'll leave it at that.
yeah. I know it's still hard. Even now. So I know. Yeah, but my prayers are still with you. They always have been, and they'll remain so. So
Cheers, man.
do we know who is on today? Oh, Devious Maids, Grant Show,
Yeah,
and
I
who
think
else? Anybody
I
else?
think
Or
it's just Grant.
okay, well that's fine. Looks like it's just us right now.
At the moment, we're holding the fort. It's not. I feel sorry for anybody that is watching in.
Two boring old blokes like us, you
we
know.
we are it. Terribly sorry.
Our apologies. Yeah, I could hear her doing her hit right now. So
Yes, well, Maria was yesterday. She did a hangout from Google Glass, and
oh, okay.
that was quite something because she was actually at the Fox news desk with Tony and Araxia, and we
Oh,
could
and you
see
got a
it
chance to see that?
through glass. I jumped in the hangout and could see Maria Vision, and then she did the weather wearing the glass as well, which is quite something.
Very cool.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, well,
So let me see.
Jimmy and I have been trying to. Any viewers that we have got have probably left by now.
No, yeah, change of poopy
Listen-
diaper. So,
Just listening to Jimmy and me, I think we've just put everybody off.
what were you guys talking about?
Everything in general and absolutely nothing all at the same time.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it.
So do you guys?
You know, we had a whole in-depth conversation about pole dancing. You missed it, so I'm sorry, Steve.
Yeah, I always miss the most fun things. I don't. Well, Jimmy, do you have any plans for the 4th of July? Justin, you guys don't do anything for.
No, not usually over here.
You know, if you
Please,
hang out with us, you can carry on American tradition and light a whole bunch of stuff on fire and drink a whole bunch of beer because that's what we do.
I think we do that most days anyway.
Well, actually, we have probably the most spectacular view in LA of where the fireworks and stuff are going to be. We live on the 20th floor of a 20-story building that has a completely unobstructed view of like 80% of Los Angeles. So we can see like all the fireworks everywhere in every neighborhood, you know. So instead of like watching
That's
the fireworks,
awesome.
yeah, so instead of watching the fireworks like for 90 minutes at some location, we can see all the fireworks all over LA for 5 hours. So we're
I'm actually slightly.
yeah, so
We
we're
have to
gonna
drive down to South Carolina.
yeah. Yeah, we're gonna invite
Yeah,
some
well,
people over. Yeah, we're inviting some people over, and they're just gonna hang out here at the house and watch the fireworks. Because, like I said, the view from our balcony and our apartment, our unit, is absolutely spectacular during the fireworks. So
That's awesome. Yeah, they don't sell fireworks in North Carolina. They're illegal in North Carolina.
they're legal in California too.
Unless they are professionally done. So we have to hop. I mean, but we're right above the South Carolina line. So we drive down to South Carolina and get some good fire because they have like crap at Walmart, but
Yeah.
it's nuts. So I want to go get some of those like 3-foot-long sparklers for the kids.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, it's illegal here. So it's like we get to watch all the illegal fireworks from our unit. So
Where?
Right.
Where's the illegal fireworks?
huh?
Where's the illegal fireworks?
Nowhere,
Yeah.
nowhere, not at all.
Oh, I played with a lot of illegal fireworks. Well, they would have been illegal here, but in the north of Thailand they were quite legal to buy. But they were monsters direct from China.
Oh,
They
God.
were proper display sort of fireworks that you couldn't normally buy as members of the public. But they've just got sort of stalls in the streets selling them in November for their big festival. And
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
buy things, pumpkin fireworks, huge, great big round ones that just showered sparks.
The Asians know how to do fireworks.
They
Oh,
do.
yeah.
We
Oh
do.
yeah, yeah, we do. Yeah.
We do. That's right, Koreatown. In Hawaii, it used to be back in the day, but there have been rules now because it's also, become urbanized. There's so many more developments, so they have really cut down on the legal fireworks. So there's very few places where you can pop fireworks. But when I was young, oh my gosh, on New Year's, it was like a war zone. I literally remember waking up to knee-deep high of firecracker papers like the next day. It was nuts. It was just
Wow.
nuts.
Yeah.
You couldn't drive. You couldn't. If you had asthma, forget it. Like you needed to go to the hospital. Don't even bother. Just go straight to the hospital. It was crazy.
Wow. Yeah, we can't do like the big professional fireworks.
Yeah.
Just taking John out in big crowds anyways that's not going to happen.
Here comes Tony. Well,
Yeah.
you're
Hey, Tony.
up to you, Tony, because I know you're going to do your blog.
I got to do my blog.
I know you have to do your blog. So,
And it's an important one.
have you guys been? Have you guys talked about DOMA already? I wanted some other people to come in so that we could talk about it
Yeah,
more.
what I should blog about.
I wonder what Tony's blog is going to be about
What
today.
should I talk?
Tony, come give us a little summary of what you're going to be blogging about.
Well, I'm going to basically talk about the Supreme Court's decisions today, and
I told him to start his blog with
she told me to start my blog with
all caps.
"It's about time." That's
No,
not.
no, I said it's about freaking time.
Okay.
That's what I said.
That's
You
not
need
how-
to start that blog with "Your tie and your pocket square are fantastic today."
Oh,
Sorry.
well, thank you. That what I think that is should I use
You're
in
so
honor of the
cute.
decision? Fabulous.
Fabulous. No,
God, it's fabulous.
that tie that you're wearing right now is probably my favorite one that I've seen you in.
You
Well,
know what?
thank you.
It's one of my favorites too. You're absolutely right, Stacey.
It's totally fabu.
It's fabulous.
Basically, what I'm going to say is what a lot of people, even though the Supreme Court sort of sidestepped the issue of whether or not gay people are entitled to be married and not allowing them to be married is a form of discrimination. They totally sidestepped that. They basically decided that if they are married, you cannot deny them federal benefits. That was the DOMA decision.
Mm-hmm.
And they decided that the people who brought the
Defense of Marriage Act?
no.
The
The people who were in favor of Prop 8, which bans same-sex marriage here in California, and who took the case to the U.S. Supreme Court, that they had no legal standing
But tell them.
to be there. Now, that is really important because basically what you had is straight people taking Proposition 8 to the U.S. Supreme Court saying, we want to defend what the people in California voted for. And the Supreme Court said, you, as straight people, have no standing with regard to this case because you cannot show why you, as a straight person, would be harmed by gay people being allowed to be married.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, well, even though the Supreme Court did not rule on whether or not allowing gay people to be married in the United States is unconstitutional, I think just by making that ruling that straight people have no standing
Conversely,
to pursue the merits of Proposition 8 hints that down the road, once they actually do have the opportunity to rule on the merits of gay marriage, that they're going to find that it is unconstitutionally discriminatory not to allow gay people to be married.
Now, Tony, tell me if the words were said that they were, in essence, quote, paving the way for legalizing gay marriage.
I don't think those were. No, I don't.
Were those words you were said? Was that
they may have been uttered. They may
paraphrasing?
have been uttered in one of the dissenting opinions.
Okay.
But I think that it's pretty clear that the path to gay marriage being the law of the land is clearly being paved.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't there yet. But my blog is basically going to talk about how I believe that it's going to probably happen sooner rather than later. That is, once the Supreme Court actually is forced to rule on the merits of gay marriage, that it's going to fall. And it's going to really come down to, once again, as it did with the DOMA decision, to Justice Anthony Kennedy. And Justice Anthony Kennedy has already indicated that he's very uncomfortable with the government telling people who they can and cannot marry, and because he's basically a libertarian, and he has a high level of discomfort with the government injecting itself into the personal, private lives of its citizens.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, now tell us your blog so everyone watching can go read it when you're done.
Okay, I will.
Thank you, Tony. I like how Tony breaks it down in real simple terms. Because that language, the way those things are written,
They can be very complicated.
yeah,
That's why Tony's a news anchor.
Yes.
Tony
'Cause he
breaks
can
it down from trick question to real talk.
He can
Yeah.
deliver the goods in easy to understand language.
And so, and that is why I believe it's
That's why Prop 8 passed to begin with, I think, because of the confusion that some people maybe that they had when they were reading it.
Yeah, and
Don't you think?
and in order to have standing before the U.S. Supreme Court on an issue, you have to show that you or the group that you represent, in this case straight people, would be harmed by the non-enforcement of Proposition 8, and they weren't able to show that.
No. Well, the only argument that a lot of these groups have is that it's going to impact negatively on your children. Like, how do you explain that to kids? And
Well,
that's their argument. And
there aren't any studies that back that up.
No. It's just parents afraid to talk to their kids about real relationships and different kinds of relationships.
One of my best friends, and this is just an anecdotal story, but one of my best friends was raised by lesbians, and he's about as straight as you can get. It's not going, your sexual orientation is not going to be determined because you have gay parents.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's people think that you have to have a mother figure and you have to have a father figure, and they have to be married and they have to be in the home.
Well, and that goes right out the window when you consider the rate of divorce in this country now, doesn't it?
And single parent households and stuff, yeah.
Single parent households, all that stuff.
That goes right out the window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're going to rule that you have to have a mother and a father, then you can't allow anyone to get divorced.
You also can't allow anyone to be deployed.
Actually, yeah, it's a fascinating way of looking at it, isn't it? It's either all is one or not at all.
Well, and also, too, like, some of the arguments are just ridiculous. Like, if you look at the science, it's only a man and a woman, and that's how you make children, and blah, 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 blah. And you're thinking, well, what about the people then who can't have children, who are born?
What about, like, IVF or...
Yeah, all like that. I mean, that's not natural, quote unquote.
No, it's not. It's not natural.
Yeah.
No.
So how is that?
And in fact, before science advanced to the point where you could do that, if you couldn't have children, you couldn't have children.
Right. Right.
That was pretty much the end of it.
So if you can't have children, then do you?
You should stolen from somebody else. I'm kidding.
That's what they did back then. Yeah, that is what they did, though.
Yeah, so it's really kind of a fascinating thing, but and I'm sure that I'll get some comments on the fact that I'm saying what, folks, it's not only inevitable; it may come sooner than you think.
So we're gonna have to change the definition of marriage in the Webster's dictionary, which still says marriage is between. Marriage is a union between man and woman.
Well, that's already outdated because in many.
Oh, has been changed?
No, I'm just saying it's already outdated.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because there are many countries in this world that do allow gay marriage, and there are an increasing number of states in this country that are recognizing gay marriage. I think California is now going to be what, the 10th state, 10th or 11th, somewhere around there.
Well, if you think about it, if it's supposed to be the marriage, the union between a man and a woman, what happens to those religions where it's a man and several women, and they support that? That's not part of the quote unquote.
What about those religions that allow it to be between a man and a teenage woman, a teenage girl?
Yeah, so a man and a girl.
Yeah, a man and a girl. That's not even a woman.
Right. Yeah, when we start breaking down the actual semantics of it, I mean, it's just ridiculous. It just becomes ridiculous at that point.
Right.
The new and updated New Oxford Dictionary, the New Oxford American Dictionary, says marriage, the formal union of a man and a woman recognized by law, of which they become husband and wife, a similar long-term relationship between partners of the same sex, or a relationship between married people, or a period for which it lasts.
That's the Oxford Dictionary, not surprising, actually.
So they've changed it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Oxford Dictionary. Now, I wonder now, check it out in Merriam-Webster.
I think Merriam-Webster's different. Let's look it up, because I believe that is still the traditional... Let
me look on my bookshelf and see if I have an old one.
Anyway, I'm going to start writing my blog. But that's interesting to see what Merriam.
I always wondered why somebody would want more than one wife.
I know, that's what I said. I'm like, go for it. If you really want to have 3 wives, you go for it, Mr.
To be honest, I think they're asking for it, really. It took me every ounce of strength to cope with one.
And if you're going to allow it, why do these societies tend to allow a man to have several wives, but not a wife to have several husbands?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want several husbands. No.
Well, Justin, look, you know who I'm married to.
It's easier for a woman to have several husbands.
I rest my case, Jimmy.
Yeah, you know who I'm married to, so yeah.
As long as I got someone taking out the trash, I don't care. That's the only thing I won't do.
One needs to take care of the baby when I'm at the gym. One needs. Okay.
Wait, did you throw that in just for my sake?
Yes. because I don't do that. You know me. Marriage. Merriam-Webster. State of being united to a
Speaking of
person
the devil,
opposite sex as husband or wife in a consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law. The state of being united to a person of the same sex in a relationship
Also,
like that of a traditional marriage.
So the dictionaries have already changed.
Dictionaries have already changed it, really. It's these people who are coming up with the definition of marriage, and they're bringing up their piece of paper. I said to them, I go, "Where'd you get that from? Dictionary 1952?" Because it didn't change. Hi, Cardell. I have missed you, lovely lady.
Hello.
Cordell heard you, Jimmy.
yeah, I know.
I heard. Yeah, I wanted to know
Yeah.
who he was married to.
No, they were
I'm telling you, man. If I was a guy, I don't think I could
marriage.
deal with more than one wife.
You know,
Mhm.
by the definition of marriage, one man is supposed to be a marriage between a man and a woman, and we talked about the fact that what happens to those marriages they consider
Why do you say
man,
that,
woman.
Stacey?
So
Because
here's my-
you know what you're putting your husband through?
No, but here's my thought. My issue specifically is with the word marriage, because with civil rights, there's an actual term to give minorities rights, human rights, right?
Mhm.
There's an actual term. I think there should be an actual term to give gay couples the ability to marry, so that in history we don't forget
that they was
the fight that they had to go through to get a right that should have been an inalienable right anyway.
Gotcha.
That's my issue.
Yeah, so marriage is still marriage by definition, but you want to actually give it a new title that actually signifies the fact that gay people and lesbians and whatever struggled
to get the right.
to get the right. So you
and it wasn't something that was just common sense to people, that people actually had to make a decision and fight for something that should have been common sense.
Yeah, so you wanted to have like a different name possibly.
Yeah, but like civil unions, unfortunately, fell so short of the marker that I can see where the fight is stemming. And well, okay, if insurance companies are not going to recognize civil union and they'll only recognize the word marriage, okay, then I can see where they're fighting that fight. But I think the insurance companies should be broken to recognize the changing of the times and so forth.
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of an odd question.
So Deanna,
insurance companies and stuff, do they recognize domestic partnership? Because in most states, if you live with the opposite sex, like if Cordell, if you and Jimmy were together, but you didn't have a marriage ceremony, but you considered yourself partners for life and you lived together for 9 years, you have a domestic partnership. Is that, I don't know if that's recognized.
No, it depends on the state that you're in. So, for example, California does not recognize common law marriage. So
yeah, and then North Carolina does.
Yeah, it used to be you live with someone 7 years and you share bank accounts and you share residences and so forth. Then you would be considered domestic partners because it's common law at that point. But that's not recognized in California.
Okay.
Yeah, that's messed up.
See, yeah, well, like I said, North Carolina, it's 9 years, and then you're recognized, and you're able to get on, and to have all of like the insurance and the tax stuff and the legal stuff that is what's being fought for. Like I watched a speech from this morning, and I forgot who gave it, but it was talking about like this isn't more so for the couples themselves. This is showing the children of the world that it's okay to have two mommies and it's okay to have two daddies, and you're exactly the same as your friend down the street that has whatever.
The days of quote unquote a normal family, when the term dysfunctional came out, every family became dysfunctional. Whether you had a mommy and a daddy,
one mommy, one daddy,
one mommy, one daddy,
two of each, three of one, and four of the
mommy
other.
and seven seven mommies and one daddy.
Yeah.
So it to me it doesn't make sense. But I think a lot of it comes from the battle that gays fought in California when AIDS hit this state. because you had a lot of couples that were either still in the closet or their family had not recognized that they were gay. And when they passed, there was that struggle between the partner that had been there for 20 years and the family that was absent for the 20 years that they were together. So, like, I identify with the fight. I get why it's important, but I struggle with the language because I just feel that, you know, America is very quick to forget.
So if in other words, if you just name it marriage and can move on, people, you feel that down the line people will forget that there was a struggle to get to that point. Versus
Right.
if you give it its own name, it'll be forever defined as this is the struggle for, you know, for marriage for gay couples
This
or
Yeah.
same-sex
means
couples.
something
Yeah,
because
just
we
just
had
like
to
this is a
to
struggle for minorities to have basic rights.
So it's called civil rights, or the civil rights movement. You know, it was a big
Mhm.
movement, and they named it like that. Versus, oh, okay, just regular rights, and you guys have them, and whatever, you know. And down the line, you forget that we actually fought for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. That's one of the most intelligent things I've heard about this whole situation. That's fantastic.
Well, she's pretty smart, so I dig her for that. You know.
So there are two-
Oh, it is Maria. You just missed a pretty important discussion here.
You did.
Darn it!
We-
All right, Cordell, you have to recap for Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah, just start
watch
over
it
the
back on
entire
YouTube
conversation from the beginning.
What happened?
You have to watch your own show now, Marie. You'll have to watch it on YouTube later.
Isn't that true? I know. I have to go back and go. What was that compelling?
Just a quick summary. My issue, Maria, is with the language, the term marriage, because
Yeah.
minorities in this country fought for civil rights, their basic rights that are given to
supposed to be
any
given to everybody.
quote unquote human being. I think there should be some labeling to this struggle so that it's not forgotten, so that it's not a matter of, you know, years down the road and people forget the battle that gay couples had to go through to have a basic right. That's my issue.
Because if it stays named marriage later, like 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, if it stays just the term marriage, people will be like, oh yeah, marriage, no big deal. But like when we look back and we say, oh, we fought for civil rights, you know, there was a movement that was fought to give us basic human rights. If you have a different name for the term, you know, for the civil union
For gay marriage,
for gay marriage,
whatever.
if you have a different name for it down the line, someone will say we fought for blah 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 rights, and now we have them. It gives a means of remembering that there was a struggle for it. You know.
Oh, I don't know if I mean, there was a big struggle for the blacks to marry whites, and they didn't call it something different. It is marriage. I don't think we'll ever forget the struggle. And I think, you know, what this historic day will mean for those who are gay and want to be married. I don't know. For me, I don't have a problem with the word. It's not. I think it should be called marriage for all. Marriage is marriage between love for two people. It's a union between two people. I just feel like you should be able to say, if you want to, I'm married to so-and-so. You know, if that's what you want. If you want to say, I'm civil unioned, I mean, it's just, I'm married to, it just, you know, I think it's easy to say, I'm married to so-and-so.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but I still think there's an issue on language because even with different ethnicities marrying, that's covered under civil rights. That's actually covered under civil rights. So I just think that America is so quick to forget, and for the struggle that these couples have gone through, I think there should be a higher level of recognition given to it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
I figure
the bottom line is you don't disagree with the ruling, and
No, I don't. I'm in favor of it. You know,
so that's fine. I think we're splitting hairs. I mean, if
well,
you
I put it to this way: I go both ways on the issue.
well, he walks the line. What can I tell you?
well, do
Out
you
of
not?
interest.
Are you? There are some people who argue against calling it marriage. They want it to be called civil union. They don't want it to be referred to. They don't want it to be referred to as marriage between two same-sex
We should
couples.
have the option.
I
See,
have
that's-
issue with that. I have an issue with that.
I have an issue with that too because
Oh, yeah,
it's
well, I do too.
Well, several insurance companies had an issue with it because the insurance companies weren't recognizing it, and I mean that's what really stemmed this whole battle.
It's more than just insurance companies. It's hospitals who don't recognize non-marriage. It's retirement benefits don't recognize. Certain states don't recognize you if you are not married. Many benefits don't apply if you are just in a civil union. So I think that's why it's very important to have the word marriage in there, for same-sex unions.
So
If you
keep the
personally don't
name
want
marriage, but give like the civil rights movement, you speak about it, and you encompass it in that movement, and movement is such a powerful word when you put it like that. So call this more than just people fighting to get married. Like, give it some kind of name that instills like that was something that was fought, and it was something that was incredibly emotional, and people were passionate about it. I think that's where.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, like for civil rights, for instance, we can say, oh, we have our rights, but then but once you know that it's also civil rights, there's that second tier of struggle applied to it. So you can have marriage, but but if you have just some other term that shows the second tier of struggle that went along with it,
But wasn't there an amendment that was passed not that long ago, Maria, that re-upped?
redefined what?
No, that re-upped the amendment for another 25 years.
For us to give us a right to vote.
The voting right?
Yeah, our voting rights are about to be taken away until they actually re-up the.
For another 25 years. Like, why even put
a time frame
on it?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that at all, so forgive me. In terms of defining it or the word or labeling it marriage, are there any gay couples in the hangout? I don't think so. I think we should ask them. Like, I don't think I have some friends who are gay, and I think they just simply want to be married.
I've heard both sides. And I'm actually in that industry where, I hang out with nothing but gay guys.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you do?
We
so
own
about you,
an
Jimmy?
interior design firm and a furniture dealership, so dealing with interior designers and stuff and whatever, it's.
And I've heard both. I mean, I've heard, a lot of my friends say, the struggle that they go through internally is one thing. The struggle that they go through with their family is another thing, and yet, to go back and forth and not have the ability, is a whole nother thing. And then they went through civil unions, and that didn't work because insurance companies weren't recognizing it. And Maria's right, a lot of benefits weren't recognizing it. So, you have these sticklers to a word. So I agree with Maria in the sense that we have to go beyond the words per se. But it's bigger than that to me.
Well, I mean, I understand why some people want to give it even more importance because of their own personal struggles, but let's just basic down. Let's just call it marriage. I mean, some people have a stronger, passionate desire for it to be.
I don't think it's about what you call it, really. It's about whether you're allowing people to do it or not. I actually think they ought to make it more difficult for people just in general, whatever sex, to get married. Then they might actually realise the sanctity of marriage and appreciate it and look after it more. It's too easy for people to get married for 3 days or 2 weeks. How many celebs have you heard that got married and then 2 weeks later they...
Well, it depends on what your faith base is, because there are a lot of, faith institutions that have followed that same path that say, before you two get married, you have to go through a whole training course or educational process. And at the end of that, we're going to be honest with you and say, get married or don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they ought to do it so you've got to at least live with your mother-in-law for 3 weeks, just so you know what your wife's going to end up like.
Then I would definitely pass that one, then.
I would not be married.
Oh, I love my mother-in-law. She's
I
got lucky. My mother-in-law is awesome.
I don't know. I think it should be as hard as I think marriage should be equally as hard as getting divorced.
You mean to get married? Yes.
To get married, yeah.
Yeah. Because to
Like,
get
all
divorced,
and
it's a bit
what
of a,
Cordell and
it's
Jimmy
a
will
lot
talk
of
about,
work.
like my
Yeah, there's a lot of work in order involved to get divorced. There should
But
be
there's-
equal. Yeah.
right. No, John and I had to go through it. Our pastor, the pastor that I grew up with, would not perform our ceremony unless we went through premarital counseling.
Yeah, but Stacy, all you had to do is go down to the courthouse, and you could have gotten married instantly. So, you know, if you wanted to, but that depending on your faith, like Cordell was saying.
No, we did that too.
Yeah, but it is very easy to get married. I mean, you
Oh
just
yeah,
go
it's super
to
easy.
the courthouse and pay like $25 for the
Oh
filing
my god,
fee.
are you kidding me? We live in a military town. I can name people that get married just for the benefits. Like we have friends that are being deployed. You make more money if you have a spouse. So they
Or just for immigration purposes, green cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was kind of a phase though.
Yeah, but
I mean,
still.
We're in the
It still
age
happened.
of convenience. I would say this age is convenience. Everything is at your fingertips, and you can get married online.
You
get married online? Where?
I mean,
probably an app
Google
for that.
Hangout. Now, I now pronounce you.
well, technically, I can go get ordained and turn on and marry someone tomorrow. You know,
Has there ever been a wedding on Google Plus yet? Have we had like a wedding on G Plus? That would be crazy.
That would be awesome. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, that would be like wild. Who's the first person to do it? I want to do it like live on the air here at Fox 11 Los Angeles.
and it could be ordained by Diano Sidious, the Dark Lord, the Dark Sith Lord.
Diana says, Diana, you got this from thinkgeek.com. I know, I like that website. They have good stuff.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it.
awesome stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of stuff from there.
Yeah, I just
Me
wish I
too.
could afford half the stuff that I love on that website, man. It's just I go there every day, get the emails from them, everything.
Yeah, they have the gamut, right?
Yep.
From little mugs to like really expensive stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, so you guys, we only have the one guest, you know, Grant Show, and I wish he would show up.
Right
I see what you did there.
For show.
I'm gonna rename him Grant No Show.
Yeah, because I came here for show.
Because I want, and you know what? That's his Twitter is Grant No Show. I want to do it because if once we finish our hangout with him, then I want to open up this hangout. You know how I like to go public.
Yeah.
So I wanted.
Yeah,
to
last time you went public on air.
Do you remember I did that by accident when we had the Il Volo people here? Was it Il Volo? And I put
Yeah.
the public link up. Oh my God, that was scary. 'Cause all of a sudden, like,
It was funny.
kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. I'm like, oh, no! Yeah, thank God they were sweet girls that jumped in. They managed. One I had to boot out because I didn't know who that
Yeah,
person
they had
was.
Il Volo yesterday.
Oh.
The singer.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like we had fans of Ivolo in here, and they were so tongue-tied they couldn't even ask anything.
I know.
I was trying to be quiet because I was like, okay, cool, we have fans here, so I'm gonna let them have at it. Okay, fans, do you have any question?
I know.
Oh, for
that
Christ's
was
sake,
so
dude.
funny. It was like
Hamana.
she was fine before. Remember, she was talkative.
Mm-hmm.
She was very
Yeah.
calm. And then when I went to her, she was like,
Yeah.
Brain freeze.
It got to the point where I was like, okay, it's like I'm gonna have to break my no silence rule just to keep this rolling. I was like, let me go to YouTube and grab some questions.
That actually did a lot of good for us. They all those fans shared and reshared those videos, so that was great.
Very cool.
Sure.
So Dal, you must have missed your hubby. He was gone for a long time.
Dude, I was so busy.
Oh, you were?
Yeah,
That's
so
a nice way of
she
saying
didn't
that.
make so she didn't.
What Tony heard was
Whack.
Cordell didn't miss you at all, bro.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Tony, shh. He doesn't know you were over here.
he said, oh, did you hear that, Tony?
Uh-oh.
She goes, he doesn't know that you were over here.
You just let the cat out the bag.
You know, sometimes my inside voice just comes screaming out, Cordell.
It's like I bet it does. It's like yesterday when Maria was had her Google Glass on and she was on the set. It's like I couldn't help but notice like the big booming voice of Tony Mack.
Remember at 10 o'clock, I had my glass on.
Yes, thank you for saying hello from the news desk, Tony.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So I have a question, Maria.
Yes.
On your green screen, is it different from the previous green screen? Because to me, it gives you a green cast on your legs and on your arms.
Okay, you are so perceptive. But you have a design eye, see? You're absolutely right. When you were here last, we did not have any of our new lights.
Mm-hmm.
The green screen is actually exactly the same green screen. But
It's affected the LED?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
LED lights, yeah.
Yep. So it's not lit perfectly for me anymore, which is a bummer. So for now, I'm told that it is for now, and it's a good change, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to take people like you to notice and say things to the higher-ups and go, why does Maria have green legs?
Yeah.
She's not Trump.
Is that stuff? No, that actually is a reflection of the green screen on her.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a it's I forget the exact like technical terminology, but yes, you're right. It's
the terminology is Maria's very shiny.
The green screen is being reflected off of me, which is turning me green. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we thought they were just buffing you up and you were reflecting colour more.
No, she's actually absorbing color.
Yeah.
Stacy put her hoodie on.
Yeah. she got to go get her Jedi hood.
I got my lightsaber too.
She has her lightsaber. That's hilarious. The George
I forget where my lightsaber is. I have Vader's lightsaber around here somewhere.
Sweet.
I like his hat.
Oh, Stu's hat? Yeah.
Bunch of children.
Stuart is a true blue cowboy. Right
Used
down
to be.
Right
Well, I
down-
mean, I used to work at it. I don't work at it anymore.
You're at a rodeo.
No, I worked ranches.
Oh, ranches.
Oh,
well,
very cool.
The same.
Helped run rodeos. But
That's actually pretty cool. That's actually way cool.
No one's.
I like her dress. Maria's dress is actually pretty cool. I haven't seen it on the TV yet, but it's pretty cool.
Aw, thank you. You know, I didn't really like it this morning when I put it on.
I like the other dress she had on. I think yesterday it was the gradient of like blue and gray and whatever.
Stripes?
Hi, Donovan. How you doing?
Horizontal stripes, large stripes.
Oh, yeah, I like that one, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that one. People look at what I wear. It's not funny. Oh, look at Stacy's little one.
Yeah, it's Donovan.
Have you ever met Donovan?
What's up, man?
before?
No, it's like it's like Effie joins us all the time, but I think this is the first time I've actually met Donovan.
Okay,
No,
Stacey.
you met him once before in one of our WECT hangouts.
Stacey.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I know I've been away from the hangout for a while, but has your child grown?
I know, right?
I know. I've seen him running around behind you, but he looks really big today. Like, he has grown.
No, you have a baby too, though.
Yes,
Effie.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Effie.
Okay.
Effie's
I'm referring
right
to
now.
that.
Where's Effie? Is she napping?
She's napping. Donovan has camp this week, so.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
right
How old's
on.
Donovan?
I like his haircut. His
Thanks.
haircut's pretty
It
cool.
matches
Hey,
mine.
does Donovan have his own
The
room?
reverse mullet.
Donovan is the only one in our house with his own room.
Cool.
Does he sleep in his own bed?
He does.
What a good boy. Our 2.5-year-old refuses to sleep in his own bed, so one of us has to sleep in there with him.
Oh, no.
No, stop that.
this is two mothers in a row talking to you.
I know. You remember right yesterday, Stuart. I can't do it. Like, he won't do it. He just cries and cries and cries, and so I don't
He
know
did
what.
it too, and you know what I did? I let him cry and let him cry and
Well,
let
how
him
did you?
cry.
Wait a minute. Like, Gus runs out of his room and comes out. Like, he was.
Lock the door.
No, well, you don't
lock
we didn't lock the door, but when Donovan, when he switched from a crib to a big boy bed, he would
Yes.
do the same thing. And I mean, the first time you put him back in, you say, okay, it's bedtime. I love you, good night. The second time, you just say good night. And every other time after that, you don't say a word because they're doing it for the reaction. You don't look at him. You kind of grab him by the hand and lead him, put him back in bed, tuck him in, don't say a word, and then leave.
They have large kennels too.
Yeah, but
They do make large kennels.
But Gus comes out of his room. Like
You got to keep doing it. You got to show him that you are more stubborn than he is, and he doesn't.
You have to do it like 500 times.
Yes.
My mom used to say, the more you cry, the less you wet the bed. So she let me cry. So.
But I literally will have to do it 500 times.
Yeah.
I swear
When
I
we
did
first started doing this,
You
the
just-
first,
Water's got to come out somewhere.
You got to do it, Maria, because otherwise, you know,
he won't learn.
you're placating into years and years of him getting what he wants.
I
You
have
are no
friends
longer
who
the
want-
alpha of the family. The
I have a
alpha of the
girlfriend
family
who has a
has not been
5-year-old.
reestablished.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend that has a 5-year-old that still sleeps in bed with her and her husband. He
See,
won't
and that's
sleep in his own bed.
for marriage.
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
seriously, it will. The first couple weeks that we did it with him, we would put him down at 7:30, and we'd still be doing this at 11 o'clock. But you have to be consistent with it, and once you decide to start it, you can't let up. Like you have to keep doing it. But it's there as long as kids will get it. Kids want you to look at them and react to what they say. So as long as you don't look at them and as long as you don't say anything, just calmly lead them back to bed, place them in bed, walk away.
As
They
soon as
can
I walk away, he runs out of the bed and comes running after me.
Put him back in there.
Put him back
Well,
in bed.
you know, he's listening to everything you guys are saying, so he's planning his next move.
What, Donovan? Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, he's out of earshot right now. He's only got half hearing, so I could talk about him all I want, and he probably won't be able to hear me.
Listen, I've done it. I mean, I did it so many times.
He doesn't understand what you're saying. Just put him back in the
Yeah,
bed.
but you know what, Maria? There's always time to start. You know, you can always start.
You can
Don't
always
worry
start.
about what you've done. It's already done. You can't
Yep.
cry over spilt milk.
We're even contemplating getting a bed and putting it in our room so he
No,
No.
no. If you do
No.
that, stay in there.
N-O.
If you do that, he wins. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
And your
Necessity
Google
is the mother
designer
of
will have a
invention.
fit on you. You don't put a side bed in your master bedroom. No.
Yeah, we've got a crib in our bedroom right
She's
now.
your Google designer, Maria.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
That's
No.
a no-no.
That is a
huge
no.
no-no.
Oh, that's capitulation at that point.
We move into our new house in a month, and everyone's gonna have their own room, and I'm super excited.
Woo!
Oh, good for you.
John and Effie and I have been sharing a bed because we have a co-sleeper, and I did the same thing with Donovan until Donovan was about a year old. He slept in our bedroom, but he had his own sleeping space. He had a
Right.
crib, and as soon as he got past that stage of getting up at midnight, go away, get out of my bedroom.
Mhm.
And we're hitting that with Effie now, so we're moving to a house. So Donovan's gonna have his own space. Effie's gonna have her own space. Let me tell you how much it sucks to share a closet with an 11-month-old and a grown man,
Oh, yeah. No.
and not a big closet, like a small, like apartment closet.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
You mean
I'm with you. I have a 1929 closet. I'm with you.
You basically have a demi
Alright.
closet.
I'm going to try. I'm really going to try to stay strong on that.
So you're coming out the closet soon, Stacey.
I will be coming out of the closet soon. No, the house will be a walk-in closet and a hot tub. We can have hot tub hangouts.
Are you bringing your pole?
Oh,
I
here
don't
we
know
go.
where to put it.
You can't use a pole in the hot tub, it'd be too slippery.
you don't have a place to put it? Let me help you space plan. The master bedroom.
John has we're getting a 2-car garage. That was his only stipulation. He wanted a fence, like a fenced-in backyard and a 2-car garage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to surprise him. I am buying him a brand new Xbox, and we've got a couple TVs that we don't use, and I'm going to buy him like a recliner or a couch. So half of the garage is going to be for his car, and the
Man
other half
cave.
I'm going to set up and
Like a
make
man
his own
cave?
little man cave. So I'm
You're gonna
hoping
get
that will give me a small section of that so I can put my pole up.
You're gonna do a 360 or an Xbox One.
They kind of go together. Man cave and pole.
Yeah.
Yes, but not for the purposes that you're thinking.
Oh,
That is not for man cave purposes. That is for exercise only.
Sure.
I spent
Yeah,
way too many years trying to be sexy on one of those things. No. Now it's just for exercise.
okay.
No, I'm not gonna get him an Xbox One. I think I'm gonna do a 360. Get one of the new 360s.
That's so funny.
Okay.
Okay, listen, Grant Show is on his way in. He just stepped off of the set of Good Day LA, and there he is coming around the corner. There he is coming around the corner when she comes.
Oh God, I knew you were gonna do that. Something told me you were gonna do that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How did you know?
The second you said he was coming around the corner, I was like, here it comes. Wait
I've
for
never
it.
done that. That's the first time I've ever done that.
Yeah, but you like singing things. It's like you'll say something, it'll remind you of a song, and you'll just start singing the song.
we've got to know you over the last year and a half.
Hello. Good morning to you. How are you? Nice to meet you. Come join me here. Sit down here. I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm gonna turn this thing down.
Do I need
He's
my
in there
glasses?
playing with the Kit app on our phone.
Okay.
This is our Google Plus Hangout. It's very casual, very informal. It's not like on the set where it's got all these, By the way, this is Tony McEwing, our morning anchor. He's not ignoring us. He's writing his blog. I should take out my cough drop, huh? I'm being very rude. Hold on. Anyway, welcome, and we get to hang out with a bunch of people from all over the world, and it's really fun. As you can, I'm going to introduce you to everybody here really quickly.
Okay. These people that are on, all these people right here?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey, good morning, you guys, and welcome to our Fox 11 Newsroom Hangout on air. Here we have Grant Show joining us. Grant is on the new show called Devious Maids. We actually got a chance to sit down with Rosalind Sanchez.
Oh, really?
The other day.
She's great. Isn't she? How beautiful is she?
She's stunning.
Isn't she?
I have a girl crush on her.
Yeah.
Seriously, I just love her. And Grant is on the show, and so we're going to talk about your character on the show. But you guys may remember Grant from Melrose Place. Yes.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Some head shaking.
Some of the older people here.
I remember Grant from. Where I remember Grant from is Burn Notice.
Oh, when? From when?
Burn Notice.
Oh,
Yep.
Burn Notice.
Great show.
Right.
Jeffrey and I actually auditioned against each other for the part that Jeffrey got on that show.
Oh, really?
It was awesome to be able to go back and play a sort of almost, well, not similar character, but play a guy working with him and, trying to solve something together. I had a great time working. Jeff's a great guy.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to quickly introduce Grant to everybody that's in the Hangout. You were just talking to Deanna, who's with us from Reno today. We've got Jimmy and his wife Cordell. They are in Koreatown here in Los Angeles.
Hey, Grant.
Justin is in Brighton.
Hey, Justin.
We've got Nick, who is in Dallas this morning.
Hello.
Stacy is in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Hey, Stace.
And we've got Stuart, who is in
Wyoming.
Orange County.
Orange County.
I know, good guess though.
Orange County.
He's
I love
Orange
the hat.
County, California. And we do have a bunch of people watching us on air. So I want to say hi to you guys. Welcome to our Hangout. And I'm going to pull you up right now, YouTube. Oh, 1 second, Grant. I'm sorry. I forgot to do this little business here. We have a lot of viewers that stream us as well from all over. So I'm going to put that up. And if you have a question for Grant, you know what to do. Just get my attention, and I will get it to him. Okay, you guys?
So are all you guys on all the time or just today?
It varies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have about 100 people usually on
Regular, but you're
average.
regulars.
Yeah, pretty regular, yeah.
Yeah.
It's vetted because, you never know.
Oh, yeah. So you guys aren't that crazy.
They're
You're
not
a little
that
crazy.
crazy.
Not
They're
so
just
crazy.
a little crazy.
Yeah.
We are.
They're in K-Town. I think you guys might be a little crazier than the rest, huh?
These two are really crazy. You know what I mean?
Grant, we're
doesn't know you.
nuts.
I was going to say, he doesn't know you yet, Deanna.
I think we're okay.
I'm not.
Yes. So we're all good. So yes, if you have a question on YouTube, go ahead and put it in the comments box, and we will get it to Grant. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about Devious Maids, and I'll ask you the first question, like I asked Rosalind. What maid or whose maid do you know that looks like any of those women? They're just.
Wait a minute. What are you saying?
I mean, they're
Hold on a
just so
second.
beautiful. Like, who would hire them?
Yeah, what wife would let
What
those
wife
maids
or
work in the
what
house?
woman of the house would let those women?
Given, given, that's
Yeah.
part of the fun of the show.
No,
isn't
I
it?
know. The show looks really, really fun.
It's
actually,
really fun. It's really soapy. It's my wife hates it when I use this word to describe anything but food. It's delicious.
it is delicious. It is yummy. That show definitely, and one of the reasons why
Thank
it is
you.
delicious. So tell us about your role. Who do
I
you play?
play Spence Westmore, which is
You look like a Spence
yeah,
Westmore.
Exactly. Spence, isn't that the worst name of all time? And Spence is a soap opera actor, which I've just been by Steve corrected. He's a daytime television
Daytime,
actor.
not soap opera
Yes.
anymore. Yes, daytime.
Which I just can't believe that they hired me to play a soap opera actor.
Big stretch.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm not a soap opera actor, but I play one on TV. He's a little bit of a buffoon, though. He's real sweet, maybe sweet to a fault. He's guileless on a show full of guile. He's the only one that's like, he doesn't have a whole lot of sneakiness in him.
Okay, I like that. It's charming.
Yeah, he's all right. He's nice.
Charming,
Last 10 years I've been playing characters that are somewhat cads, and that have, since I left Melrose Place. But this guy's real sweet, and I'm having a lot of fun playing him. He tends to find himself getting knocked unconscious occasionally.
Okay.
In just the weirdest situations.
These things happen.
Yeah, they do.
Regularly, obviously.
Yeah. Jimmy, yes, go ahead. You have a question.
Okay, so I have a question, Grant.
Riddell.
I'm assuming you have a maid. Maybe you don't, but if you do have a maid or have had a maid, what is the most either uncomfortable or true life story that you can share with us that is a little edgy?
Rosa has been cleaning my houses for, over 20 years, and she's really pretty much like family. And
there's no Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No. She's just the sweetest. She's wonderful. And I've been through so many things. She's been through things with me. Here's the best thing that ever happened. My first wife, when she first moved into the house, and the first time that Rosa
she had to approve.
met her, and apparently Rosa said to her, "I was here first."
That does. See, that happens in the movies, but that's actually real
It
life.
actually
yeah,
happened.
that's
Yeah,
real
she
life.
said I was here.
Wow. And Rosa is still with you?
Yeah.
20 years.
And your first wife is not.
Exactly.
That's
Rosa was right.
Rosa was here first, and they're here the longest.
How is the current wife getting along with
Rosa and Catherine
They're
love
good.
each other.
They're
They get along fantastically. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. I actually had to pass a similar test with my husband, housekeeper. Yes, and yeah.
Well, she's like my mother and my sister, and she's really. For years, I was alone, and she really took care of me and took care of my household, and
that's nice.
it was her house, not mine. I just lived there.
This is true. Justin, yes, go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, it said that you took a year out to study at London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts. I wonder what your experience was there, and also is that did that aid you in playing CADs?
You know what? I hadn't thought of that, but I think it did actually. There is a lot more guile and what's the word I'm looking for? In the way the Brits approach drama and comedy and whatnot. So yeah, I think it did. I did a lot of restoration theater, and there's a lot of that in that kind of comedy. Other than that, I just really kind of had a lot of fun there. I don't know that it helped me get work, but it was like summer camp, or
how nice.
It was like camp for actors. It was really cool.
Did you pick up the accent that Justin had the proper?
I don't have a good ear.
English.
I don't have a good ear for accent. Anybody can do them, I suppose, if you work hard enough. My wife is terrific.
You
at
need
that.
a coach to really work with you on that. Do you have a preference over working with on stage as opposed to in front of the camera film?
I've done mostly television, and then theater after that, and then a few films. I would say that television and theater are similar in the respect that you get to spend a lot of time with your character. I did a play the last big play I did was Wit in New York, and I spent 6 months on it. You do several 150 performances or something, and after the 54th performance, you're like, oh yeah, now I get this guy. And after the 80th performance, oh yeah, now I know who this guy is. And television's kind of similar in that way, where you get to keep playing the character over and over and over and over again. You get to know them really, really well.
Yeah.
I like that.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. You're so cute, Stuart. Did anyone have a question that had their hand up that I missed?
I'm actually kind of curious about something. For someone like me who is admittedly never heard of this show before, it's like, what would you say to someone to get them to watch it? It's like what's the elevator pitch for the show?
The elevator pitch.
Rosalind
Sanchez. No, I'm just kidding.
Beautiful women. How's that?
That's all I need.
Women. In funny situations. It's very funny. It's Mark Cherry. It's Desperate Housewives.
That's right.
With 5 maids instead of housewives. It's so funny. It has heart. There's a little bit of mustache twirling in it as well. It's icing. It really is. It's very sweet.
If I could ask, because I always like to ask about the craft of acting and of course the business of acting.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been in it for quite a while now. What advice would you give those who are watching?
Oh my gosh! If you can't do anything else, then do it. But if you can do something else, then do something else.
Really?
I love my job.
Yeah.
Absolutely love my job. But 30 years into it, you still get rejection. You still you're never really sure where your next job's coming in. It's a tough
How would
grind.
you say it's changed? Because I know in regards to technology and social media, it's such a big part now of what you guys do. And we talk to, the stars of that show that with Kerry Washington. What is that? Scandal. Yes, Scandal. They literally, with Shonda, will live tweet during an episode.
We do
and
it too.
You do it too.
My wife started doing that. Showed me how important that was on Deception.
Yeah.
And I did it last Sunday, and I'll be doing it every Sunday that the show's on. I think it's more difficult and also easier because we have more control over our own lives.
I was going to say it is actually.
If I
twofold.
put more into it, I'm going to get more out of it. But you have to put more into it.
So you are embracing the whole social media.
Yeah, it's difficult for me being, I hate to say this because I'm a little older and I just sort of.
You are not. Stop it! My gosh,
I'm 51 and it's.
You are not. I swear to
but
God.
but I didn't do it in high school. You know what I mean? I didn't do social media in high school, so. I'm having to kind of go, okay, I've got to plod through it and okay, I understand what this Twitter is. And it's not like texting, but it is like texting.
It is kind of like, you're 50.
Yeah.
51.
Nah, I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. Okay, Cordell, you have the Kempton question. Go ahead.
Okay, I agree with you, Grant, that the whole technology thing and tweeting and Twittering and Facebooking can be overwhelming, and it can almost become a job unto itself.
Oh yeah.
So how much are the studios pushing you to do it versus your own free will?
They're not pushing at all. They'll mention it, but I think any actor that's smart will involve himself in it. The studio hasn't pushed me at all. They haven't really. They've really done nothing other than when they see that I'm doing it, give me a little attaboy.
No,
and by the way, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
It's just a matter of doing
It's actually not that hard.
You know?
It's a habit.
Yeah.
It's just we're not used to it.
Yeah.
But once you get it, like us, I'm addicted. I am the first one to admit it, and I need to actually.
Yeah,
calm
what
down.
I'll do is
But
just before bed, I'll take a look at the Twitter, and then I'll do
That's
it
at
during
the
the show.
worst time, but yes.
Why is that the worst time?
Because it keeps you up all night. You're not supposed to do that. That's what experts say. Yeah, you're supposed to turn off all of that ambient light. But listen, thank you so much for stopping by
Thank you.
to talk to us.
Hey, it was nice to meet you guys.
Devious
It was a
Maids,
pleasure, man.
is on which network?
It's on Lifetime.
It's on Lifetime Sundays.
10 o'clock.
Sunday
Yeah.
nights, Devious Maids with Grantshow.
If you haven't started watching it yet, there's still plenty of time to get into it. It just premiered a couple of days ago.
Yes.
Go
Probably
for
gonna
it.
be other premiere sometime this week too.
This is our Google Glass, and I'm taking pictures with all of my celebrities.
I want to see this. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
No,
you
I haven't
haven't
tried
tried it? Okay. Well, this is our Google Glass, and you put it up high on the bridge of your nose,
Okay.
and then you kind of did the screen.
I have to look up
I
to
would be back.
Yeah. Did this?
Wait a minute. No, it's not on.
Did it pop on?
No.
No. Okay. Good. Let me.
Maybe I take it off.
I'm sorry. Let me just see. Will you
Grant, you broke them.
Did you charge it, Maria?
I did charge it. There it is. Okay, so you kind of have to like.
Is it? You have to put it on like a phone, so the phone. Oh, that's on.
Okay, so now what you
All right,
do?
now I have to put it in a way that I can actually see it.
No, see, that's the mistake you make. Like you have
Uh-huh.
to people make is you have to put it up high,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah, but it's way over here.
Oh, okay. Now you. So
Okay.
you kind of see what's
Yeah.
going on, and then
Mhm.
this is like a trackpad here, so you can go back and forth.
Oh, that's
John
good.
Connor is not on Google.
Who's not on Google?
John Connor.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
we need
I'd
to.
be back.
Okay, now let me take a photo with you looking all Trekkie-like. So come forward.
That is pretty cool.
What would you do if you were on Star Trek right now? Okay, here's the camera right here.
Oh, I thought
Okay.
we were looking here.
No, no.
See? Like I said, do I have to talk way down into it?
Right up here. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. What is this? 9:05.
Okay,
something
one,
like
two,
Four.
three. Yes.
Nice.
It means wearable computing, and you can. It's
So I can-
basically like your smartphone.
What
right
are all
there.
these pages that I'm looking at?
Well, yeah. Right now it's
That's
still
something-
it's beta. Yeah. No, you can't have porn on Google Glass. They actually
porn.
that will come, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we've already had that conversation.
Google has not
Why?
really because
That's
Because
absurd.
they don't want people watching porn. And
Oh.
Grant, you know how people are. Anything that exists, there must be porn on
there
it.
must be
Well,
porn
yeah,
on
that's
it.
what I'm saying. It's inevitable. Why
It's
block
inevitable. It's coming. So they're
it? Because someone will hack it.
you know that.
This
right?
is true.
Okay, so let's take a quick photo now without the Google Glass.
That'll be the upgraded
Okay,
glasses.
Okay, one,
Yeah.
2, 3. Yay! Awesome. Thank you
All
guys.
right, thanks a lot, guys.
Grant, it was a pleasure
Thank
meeting you,
you.
man.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
One day.
Yeah, over 50 and a half.
No.
I love the jazzed hands there, Jimmy. Well done.
I taught him everything he knows, Justin.
How crazy was my timing? I was just sure I had missed everything.
Handsome man.
That was fun.
He was
Yeah.
fun. He was a good fun. He's good sport. I like that.
Yeah.
I think he makes the glasses look sexy.
He's very handsome. He's a very
I think Maria makes those glasses look pretty sexy
Oh,
too.
thank you, Stuart. Like you're in the hangout.
Well, the minute you said that, Maria went into pout mode.
Give us the duck face. There you go. Give us the duck face. Duck face.
Why
You know,
do women do that?
that's
Why
what she's
do
doing James Bond. She's doing
I
Bond
do
girl.
not
why do
know.
women do that?
I have no idea.
No.
I don't ever really do that. There's very few times where-
Maria, us guys have been asking why you girls do the things that you do for since the dawn of time.
Centuries.
We
Yeah.
still have no answers, and we never will.
That's
If you look
okay.
at
Yeah, no, that's
if you
all
look
part
at
of
some
our
of the
master
Egyptian
plan.
hieroglyphics,
Yeah, I believe
they've
you.
got duck faces in those as well.
Are you
They were
serious?
doing it so long ago.
No.
I don't know a duck that makes that face.
Justin
for
was
me. I don't
kidding,
know where
Maria.
you
That
get
was
face
a
from.
joke.
Oh, okay. Because I swear I'm gonna look through all my hieroglyphics and all those.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. That would have been great. You pouring over and trying to find the duck face in ancient
Duck
Egypt
face.
hieroglyphics. It's
But there's
fantastic.
a whole history on pouting your lips.
Where's that from?
I think Victoria Beckham
Childhood.
invented it, didn't she?
No,
No.
childhood.
every female wants to be a supermodel, and when you do that to your face, it sucks your cheeks in and it makes your lips look big and pretty.
You know what? You're right. It does suck your cheek in. Maybe that is where it's from. You're right.
That's like, if you look at a lot of early 90s advertising, this is like, that's
But why do you want?
your main
Oh,
code.
because it makes your cheeks really
Makes your face look thinner.
Why do you want to look like you've had all the air sucked out of you?
Exactly. Doesn't make any sense. Well, then again, it's like I don't get half the models these days. Like half the fashion magazines and whatnot. I see all these models and they're supposed to be pretty. It's like all I want to do is give them a sandwich.
Do you know what?
That's why you said half a model. That's what they look like to me. Where'd the other half go?
Exactly.
Half a muggle?
I wonder if it came from this, because there's a lot of gay men in the fashion industry who want to be women. You know that, right? So they like have that image of like making their faces smaller so that they
But
could
they
be
don't
less.
have to do duck face.
No, actually,
Most of
it
them
comes
are
from-
good enough with makeup that they can create that shadowing without doing this.
No, it comes from Egypt, back in the Pharaoh days, when they used certain potions to puff their lips.
Now I'm gonna go look at my hieroglyphics. Thank you. For
I just
that.
posted a link in the chat.
You're so funny.
All right,
Oh
what's
man, that
this
made me
then?
laugh till it hurt.
Wait, what is this?
Jimmy just posted a picture, Maria.
I put a link in the chat.
It's a link in the
I
chat.
don't have access to the chat. Chat is broken. Hold on.
Oh man, that was great. That
Which
was great,
one?
Jimmy.
Where is it, Jimmy's Tumblr page? Hold
Yeah,
on.
Oh god, that's fantastic.
It won't let me. My chat is going bonkers. Okay, wait, there it goes. Okay. Where is it?
I just put it up again.
There it is. Oh, that's crazy. How did you do that so quickly?
I just looked it up because
Someone did it before him.
Oh,
You looked it up and it was there already. See, that's brilliant. The
Oh.
internet's fantastic, isn't it? You
Isn't
want
it though?
duck faces on hieroglyphics? Somebody's already done it.
don't you just love the internet? What?
Oh man.
Oh, that was brilliant.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna go, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So I'm hoping I'll be feeling better and I'll be at work tomorrow. But
Feeling
Friday,
better. I didn't know you were sick. You okay?
I have a sore throat, and the baby
Yeah,
has a bad cold.
Oh, if your
I had a
baby
sore throat yesterday.
your baby's sick, you're screwed.
It's going around. Both of mine have a cough.
Yeah, so I'm trying to really avoid getting sick because I have such a busy week. And on Friday, do you remember that guy Jefferson Graham that likes to hang out with us sometimes? He works for USA Today. He's the tech journalist.
Yeah.
So he's coming in on Friday, and he's going to write a story about me and my Google Glass and my Google Hangouts.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Oh, hey.
Right, so all the divas will all be fighting to get in the hangout first then. Bet Jimmy's in there straight away, name dropping.
Oh, you a diva, you name
No, knowing Jimmy, he's gonna Jimmy rig some of his glasses to look like Google glasses.
Yeah.
They can wear Google glasses.
I am looking for another Google Google. So if you guys know of anybody in LA that has glass, I want to talk to them.
Oh,
I know there's
if
still-
you buy me a pair, I'll wear them. Yeah.
I know they're still a little bit glitchy, and I know you're still trying to sort things out, Maria, but it was good yesterday when we jumped in and you were at the desk and doing the weather as well with them.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was neat, right? So tomorrow I think I'm going to do it as well, and I'm going to try to do it from outside. Because there's supposed to be a big, on Thursdays we have all these dancers outside, we have food, so I want to do the not hangout, but I want to join a hangout from out there and show everybody. So, yeah, anyway, so hopefully that'll happen tomorrow. Okay, guys, have a great day.
All right.
Yeah,
Hasta mañana.
Hasta mañana.
See ya.
Have a great day,
Thank
guys.
you, Maria.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.